There were times when I was young and everything started feeling lame. And the only way to fix it was to play my favorite video game. Though the years may pass us by, there's still one thing you can't deny. I am gonna need a heaping helping of 32-bit awesome. When you're a jumping robot rabbit landing on a whale, or you're running from some ninja monks who are on your trail, or just a Raccoon City rookie blasting zombie scum, you're gonna need a heaping helping of 32-bit awesome.
Hello again, my merry geekologians. I'm the Geek Jock, and this is 32-Bit Awesome, the show where I explain why games you used to play are still awesome. This month, I cover the ultra fan favorite, Crash Bandicoot, and explain why you owe it the utmost respect. Let's get started. Although 3 awesome platform games came out for the PS1 sporting Crash's moniker, I'll be focusing on the original. Crash Bandicoot is one of the first traditional 3D platforming games ever. It's about a mutant, anthropomorphic Bandicoot named Crash, who must battle his deranged creators, Doctors Neo Cortex and Nitrous Brio, to save his sexy girlfriend and the rest of the natural surroundings of his home islands. There is definitely an environmentalist vibe to the ethics of Crash Bandicoot, which was popular during the 90s. Remember Captain Planet? He's our hero, gonna take pollution down to 0. Yeah, that guy? Me too!
Your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Captain Planet, he's our hero, gonna take pollution down to 0.
Even though Crash Bandicoot was a pretty straightforward platformer, it had a bunch of variety. Bonus stages, unique boss fights, hog riding, just to name a few. One of my fondest memories was outrunning that giant freakin' boulder, Indiana Jones style. Even today, it's as thrilling as ever. Which goes to show you that it's still hard to beat the emotional anxiety of knowing something dangerous is chasing you. One thing you gotta learn about Crash Bandicoot, and quick, is that it's goofy as fuck. I mean it. This game is filled to the brim with silliness. Look at this crap. We have this horny, smartass of a guy running around in his basketball sneakers. He spins like a Tasmanian devil, dies like Wile E. Coyote, and makes jokes like Bugs Bunny. So basically, Crash was made out to be the greatest cartoon character ever. And you know what? He almost was. Let me put things into perspective for you. Crash Bandicoot was such a big icon for Sony, and was liked by so many people so much, that Sony decided to make him the proverbial mascot of their entire freaking company.
That's a good crouch, Cash.
The name's Crash.
Or Cash. I call him Crash, didn't I?
Think about that. That is nuts. One of the biggest reasons Crash hit it off with fans was that he could emote in the most advanced way possible for a gaming character up until that point. Crash smiles, he winks, he gives you a shit-eating grin. Mario and Sonic didn't do this stuff. Mario and Sonic also weren't cool like Crash. Crash did things unconventionally. He was a hero who didn't take himself too seriously. He was basically a more badass version of what Sonic was trying to be. No offense to the blue hedgehog, of course, but I mean, come on. You're a blue hedgehog. There are other colorful characters in this game too, most notably from them, Neo Cortex, who eventually became the quote-unquote Bowser of the franchise. I always liked Cortex. He seemed to have a good sense of self, and he was such an asshead that you loved to hate the guy. In later games, he was wonderfully voice acted and had almost more personality than Crash himself.
Muck in my mud. Oh look, I have a mask helping me too. We will find out which one is more powerful soon enough.
I really like how there was this obnoxiously large loading text that plays between every level. Most gamers these days don't even know what the fuck loading means within the context of video games. Crash Bandicoot reminds you what era of gaming you're in as often as humanly possible. Let me make a quick note about the Bandicoot itself, and by itself, I mean the animal. Have you ever heard of anything as ridiculous sounding as a bandicoot? You could tell most people about a creature named a bandicoot existing, and they would probably laugh, thinking you made up the name, because nothing can sound as stupid as a bandicoot and actually exist simultaneously. But there it is, in the Google image search, just looking at you, mocking your self-subscribed illusions of logic. The real reason Crash Bandicoot was so well touted for its time was it utilized 3D movement in a very new and interesting way. Most platformers before Crash Bandicoot came out looked like this. You go from left to right and that's about it. Crash allowed you to work on a Z-axis as well. It was basically a 2D platforming game that you turned sideways, which I guess is the exact definition of something being in 3 dimensions, but it was still pretty cool. Games like Jumping Flash and Bug provided 3D movement too, but it wasn't anything like Crash Bandicoot. Unfortunately for Crash, Super Mario 64 came out not too long after, which totally blew the door off of 3D platforming. But for a time, Crash Bandicoot was the king of the 3D genre. Its sequels were really successful too, and improved upon the style of the gameplay in every way, shape, and form. All 3 of the platforming games for the PS1 were excellent, but all good things eventually come to an end. When the PS2 hit the scene, Crash games lost a lot of their kick. What made them so exciting and wonderful before didn't really exchange well onto Sony's new platform. Most of the games weren't terrible, they just didn't evolve at all. The industry itself was changing, and the public cared less about cartoonish heroes and more about cool ones like Solid Snake, Gordon Freeman, and Master Chief. Yeah, cartoony characters lived on, and Nintendo continues their battle of charm versus coolness even today, but Crash Bandicoot's time was up. Damn, that's some sad shit. The great thing is, you can enjoy Crash Bandicoot anytime, and the games are readily available online or through the PlayStation Network. The original trilogy was definitely the most pure of them all, and it would be a damn shame if any self-respecting gamer didn't at least try them. This has been 32-Bit Awesome. I graciously thank you for spending some time honoring that orange son of a bitch, Crash Bandicoot. I hope you join us next month when I cover yet another superlative lost gem from gaming's past. Adios, muchachos. Adios.